Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another interesting video here. This time working in a 2005 Toyota RAV4 ECM. This is coming from UK, all the way from England. This is Horace Innis. I hope I'm saying his name good. So I'm just going to briefly show you his computer. This is for him so he can see the numbers on his computer. I got it connected in here so we can do the test to reproduce the concern. So this is, as you see, an invoice from a Toyota dealer in England. It says that is Curry Motors, I guess. So they have, let me just read a little bit of the information. It's registration date 2106 2004, 76,000 miles. Yeah, RAV4 XC3, 5 doors, 2.0 BBT. It says they carry out a free vehicle health check and also a diagnosis. Car will go into first. Car will only go into first and second gear. Actually, I can show you that part here because there is no information. Hopefully, yeah. Car will go only into first and second gear. Error message P0776. Pressure control solenoid B is off. Um, Recommendation obviously by the dealer needs a ECU and they don't have it because it's no longer being produced. Um, I spoke to him. He's like, Mike, please help me. I really like this car, and they're really, really great cars. I says, yes, don't worry about it. I'll send it over, and I will check it out, make sure that it's indeed a problem inside the computer. This is a very common failure on these boards, and I'm an expert on it, so that's not a problem. So let me do the test. Also, before I do the test, this is my website. Mike Salazar Diagnostics. Yes, that's how my name is spelled, MAIC, and sounds as Mike. This is the address that you will ship your module from anywhere in the world. Just add USA if you're not inside the United States. The website itself is that in the tab, just add the .com as you see it on here, right? MikeSalazarDiagnostics.com. My email is, if you need it, is the same. Just add Mike Salazar Diagnostics. If you need to contact me, you can click in here in your browser or the Let's Chat, and that will start the process of our conversation. If you scroll all the way to the bottom of this website, because as you see, it's a full page, then you can see all that information as well in there. I'm just going to keep it in the screen so you guys can see it. And then the address at the bottom has been removed because Google don't like that I'm work in my house, and then they don't let me put my address in there. But everybody already has it, and I have the address in here. I cannot commercialize it. I don't know why, but it is already here, so that's not a problem. Okay, so if you need to send anything, please contact me first. Anywhere in the world right now, I have customers from 26 countries and growing. I got people from Zurich. I'm very happy because I was just uh, 2 days ago. I just came back from Switzerland, and that was a beautiful, beautiful trip. I recommend it to whoever can do it. Please take the time and enjoy. It's so much you can do. Pretty easy. It's a little bit expensive, but I mean, it's expensive anywhere if you're going for vacations, right? So, but it is a beautiful country to visit. I like the Alps. Swiss Alps are, and the people is very, very friendly, very beautiful. Food is good. I really like it. My wife and my family, we really like Switzerland a lot. All right, going back to the repair, right? Too much talking. Okay, so let me get into the oscilloscope and also show you the connections, right? Like I always do. All right, so connections are pretty simple for my tests. All the yellow cables in here are powers, all the green cables are grounds, and I have two little sets of alligator clips, one for solenoid B and the other one for solenoid 8. 8 is now disconnected because I'm not doing a test on that one yet. So I'm going to do one at a time, and I'm using this IX solenoid. The reason I use that one is because it's enclosed. I don't need to attach it to anything, and it will just work perfectly. And it works, and I have done all my tests with that one and with all the Toyotas, and it worked perfectly, not a problem at all. All right, for the connections on the solenoid, we have it's two different transmissions Toyota uses. So it could be the solenoid 2 on transmission 1 is in the purple color here on pins 16 and 17 for his transmission. Solenoid 1 is in pins 18 and 19, and solenoid 2 in pins 14 and 15 on the connector 9. I have also marked those on the top of the connectors since it's removed, so we can see, and I can see that easy. As far as powers and grounds, all powers pretty much are in connector 6 and 7. So I use in connector 6, which is the first on the right. I have pins 1, 3, and 9. And then on the second connector, which is E7, I have pin 6. The grounds are in connectors E8 and E9. So there's our E6, 7. The center is blank. 8, 9, and 10. All right, so you can see that everything is as I have saved in here. And as you see, it works from 2004 Camrys and so on, as long as it's this same transmission or same module. All right, so right now the connections that I have is in pin 14, A9 14, and A9 15. Polarity is very important for the solenoid, at least for me here, right? So we're moving in the correct way. So the way that this is solenoid B. So I can show you more information. Let me go over to his folder. Yeah. This is from Identifix. So if you have code P0776, it refers to pressure control solenoid B, which is, as they say here, shift solenoid valve 2. If you had the full code P0746, that is for solenoid 8, and that will be solenoid valve SL1. I can just go by what this dealer given because this is not a scan report. This is just a paper printout, so I'm not sure if this is accurate or not, and that's the reason why I'm doing the test, right? So, other things that I can see on the information that I have saved, and this is, as you all know me, I take my time to do my homework properly. So when I'm doing the test, I am not in the wrong pins or anything. So we can see solenoid 1, solenoid 2, and that tells me solenoid 1's in pin 18 and 19, and solenoid 2 could be in pin 14, 15, or 16 and 17, as we have it. If I move this in here, we got solenoid 1, 18 negative, right? So 18 negative and 19 positive, right? And then solenoid 2 depends on the transmission, right? We will have pins 14 and 15, which is this transmission, this computer. So we have 14 as negative and 15 as positive. So all is good. All right. So that's how I always double, triple check my information to make sure that what I'm doing is good. All right, so I am very familiar with this computer. So this solenoid B, as soon as the ignition is on the vehicle, it should be a constant pulse width modulated PWM. So I'm a little tired, so from still with the jet lag, so please bear with me. So I'm going to just turn the ignition on, and we will see the signal coming shortly. So I'm going to do it now. Okay, it is there. So I'm just going to let it go, and I can hear that solenoid humming. I'm going to stop the capture, just a couple of screens, right? So we can now analyze that data. I'm going to turn this off because my next test will be moving the wires for the other solenoid, so solenoid 8. This is solenoid B. This is again before repairs. I have not done on it, nothing on this computer. I'm just doing the test, a preliminary test for him. So let's see how is the actuation or the activation, right? And I don't see nothing running here. So all this looks pretty good. Yeah, it's going down pretty good and it's going up pretty good. So I don't see nothing wrong. It's actually pulling down below zero, and that's very common on this solenoid due to its construction inside the computer, right? But it's going all the way up to battery voltage, so we can see that we got like minus half a volt to 13.02, and if we see is 13.5 volts, which at the end that is exactly what I'm giving the computer. So that is all has to do with the design of the driver that is controlling these transmissions. This is a newer module than the 2001 and so. On the ones, the drivers are here on the side. On these ones are these big drivers. Now they have a very big solid um, earth or ground pad that makes it very robust. I always double check and triple check, all the solder joints, which is a very common problem on the Toyotas. But I always try to reproduce the concern, and that's what I use a load. This is a real load, the same as in the transmission on the Toyota, and that's the same resistance and everything on that solenoid, and that's why I use it. All right, so nothing wrong with this one. I don't have anything to say about this one. Let's do another actuation. All right, so yeah. Hmm. So Horace, I don't see anything with this solenoid as far as solenoid B. I'm just going with a printout of whatever the service advisor put on, but I'm going to check the other one to make sure it's not a typo and it was P0746 and not 776, which it will be for solenoid A. So let me switch the cables and I'll be right back. All right, everything is ready to go. Solenoid A, I have actually saved uh, captures. But I can tell you because I am very familiar with this. So solenoid 8 and it's very different than the way the solenoid B reacts. So we will, or if this is working good, we'll need to see an actuation, kind of like the same pulse width. So it's going to feel the same height and everything, but maybe like a second activation and then it stops for like a second and a half or so, and then activates again, pulse with modulation for like maybe 2 seconds or so, and then it stops. So kind of like a look that we need to see, but it has to be that full signal, right? Not never fully on or never fully off. All right, so let's do that activation. Oh, make sure that I have the scope running. I'm gonna wait for that line to start again. Okay, that did the activation. Okay, I see a problem immediately. All right, so that is a problem that I see already in there. Let me go back to the capture. Perfect. Okay, as far as the amplitude, again, low and high, that looks pretty good. What I don't like is this. You see it went high and it stay high, completely actuated. That shouldn't never be like that. And if I repair the computer, which I know that Oris is going to, the reason the computer is in here for to correct any problems that I can find, but I immediately find a problem but on solenoid A, not on solenoid B. And we can see that. So I'm going to contact him, which is a little hard to do because obviously time zone and difference on areas of the world. But sorry guys. Yeah, but I can definitely reproduce a concern with this one. So I'm going to talk to him and follow up with the repairs and get you here. So I'm going to start the video, see if I can contact him and get his approval, and then we go from there. All right, guys, I talked to Horace and he approved the repairs, and I already have done it. Everything is working now perfectly. I have actually in the screen is still the no embed capture, which I saved for his records and my records. And I'm going to now, okay, let's just remind, I know that in your time it's going to be a blink, so you're pretty going to have that one refresh, but for me it's hours after. So this is the known bed. Remember, this section was always on and then doing the pulse width. I can actually show you that in here we have a pulse width modulated signal. and that's not the way it's supposed to. It has to be this full blue here. So let me run the capture, and I'm going to turn the computer on. I'm going to wait for the screen to start now, and now you see that perfect. I'm going to turn the computer off so we can do it a couple of times, but I'm going to go back to this first capture. You see what I mean? So, like I said, I have done this so many times that as soon as I see this, I don't have to even zoom in to know that this is a good waveform. This is now a completely working computer, and we can see that that area that was always on is no longer there. Now we got a nice pulse with modulated signal. Yeah, I was able to say it this time. But yeah, so it's not a problem. So let's do a couple of actuations, right, to make sure that it's not hanging or giving us a problem, right? Computer is off right now, on, okay, and this will happen only one time, at least in here. So I'm turning the computer off. I gotta wait a couple of seconds. So I'm gonna wait for a couple of screens blank like that. Starting now. You see, if I do it like that, you see it right now, it's only one. So I have to give it a little more time to the capacitors to discharge and everything to see that short actuation and then the long end actuation, because otherwise if I keep doing it like that, like just ignition on and off, it just gives me the lone actuation. But that is normal, and I know that that is 100% correct. All right, so one more time. You see we got the short actuation and then now the long one. See, it's exactly as I'm saying. So as you see, I'm very familiar with this, and it's working as it's supposed to. So, or else your computer is now 100% repaired. All right, guys, thank you so much for visiting the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye.